Hi, my name is Ilene Winokur, and I've lived in Kuwait for the past 35 years. I've been an educator since 1995, a teacher and administrator in kindergarten through grade 5 and at the pre-college level. My interest in digital citizenship has grown over the years because of my own steep digital literacy curve, and because the use of digital devices, the internet, and social media is highly misunderstood in Kuwait. I was very excited when Mary Alice Curran asked if I'd like to present an impact talk during this year's DigCit virtual conference, because my presentation focuses on digital citizenship in Kuwait and whether people in Kuwait really understand how to use their devices in a productive and positive manner, or if DigCit education is needed. Let me start with some background about my adopted home and the Internet of Things. The use of devices and social media in Kuwait is extremely high, as shown by these statistics as of January 2018. The total population, which includes citizens and foreigners residing in Kuwait, was 4.17 million people. Of that total number, almost all were active social media users, and the majority of the population had more than one mobile device. In other words, 178% of the total population, meaning almost every person, has more than one device. Additional data on the next slide shows the annual digital growth of Internet users in Kuwait as 23% from January 2017 to January 2018. And there were 1 million additional active social media users over the year, or an increase of 37%. This exponential growth in devices and use of the Internet is also demonstrated in social media use, or overuse, in Kuwait. The English language daily newspaper Kuwait Times on July 30th, 2016, reported in its article Social Media in Kuwait, a Double-Edged Sword, that 72% of Kuwaitis were using social media more than 5 hours a day. The survey revealed that social media helped in spreading rumors and news alike by 65%, revealing that the top social media application was WhatsApp with 90% of usage. In fact, 25% of users log on to social media applications around 50 times a day, with the average age being between 31 and 40. The use of social media to spread rumors continues to be a concern in 2019. This is one of the top reasons to educate youth in digital citizenship. A study in 2015 entitled Dimensions of Social Media Addiction Among University Students in Kuwait by Jamal Al-Mnayis found that some university-age students in Kuwait were showing signs of social media addiction and that negatively affected their GPA. They had a lower GPA than those who were not using social media regularly. Al-Mnayis noted, social media usage in this context comes at the expense of academic performance. Students spent more time using social media instead of studying. This is a serious concern, and the only way to counteract it is education. Social media is a highly used form of communication and advertising for the population, so there needs to be guidance about the best and most positive ways to use it. Another local English language newspaper, the Arab Times, quoted a report from the epochtimes.com last April, which noted that the Trump administration placed 36 countries on an annual list of trading partners that, quote, present the most significant concerns, unquote, regarding the lack of intellectual property rights protections. Kuwait was listed among the worst offenders and placed on a priority watch list. Intellectual property is protected by law in Kuwait. However, abuses continue, and due to the length of time it takes to take a case through the courts, many prefer not to pursue this course of action. Again, education is the only way to combat this problem. There has been a concerted effort in recent years to focus on the youth population in Kuwait. There are several reasons for this. The first is that more than 60% of the total population of Kuwait is under the age of 27. Secondly, Kuwaitis traditionally have worked in the government sector. However, there are fewer and fewer jobs available now so other employers such as private sector and entrepreneurship or self-owned businesses are a priority. Kuwait's strategic plan, entitled Kuwait 2035 Vision, emphasizes education to build a workforce for a sustainable future. Along with an emphasis on the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, the Supreme Council for Planning and Development lists 4 core competencies. The first one is national competitiveness, which focuses on priorities like education, employment, productivity, skills, and entrepreneurship. The second one is social cohesion, focusing on priorities like health, inclusion, well-being, and sports. Leadership and voice is the third element, focusing on priorities like participation and democratization. And the fourth one is creativity, focusing on priorities like innovation, talent, creativity, culture, and digitization. All of these require the ability to use computational thinking, which is developed through digital citizenship. The UNDP Kuwait project, titled Achieving Kuwait 2035 Vision Towards Persons with Disability, emphasizes the role of web services like social media and mobile websites to enable and accelerate the social and economic inclusion of persons with disabilities. These assistive technologies are at the forefront of positive changes that can be made once digital citizenship is a focus for all. A 2017 study by Dr. Saleh Al-Said shows that a person who effectively uses the internet is better prepared to resist extreme ideologies. This study was presented at a conference attended by Arab countries, ministers of interior, to emphasize the importance of teaching young people about digital citizenship. As the previous slides demonstrate, there is enormous potential for Kuwait to be a leader in digital citizenship and a proponent for positive use of social media, digital devices, and computational thinking. We must make it a priority for all aspects of life and at all ages. Thank you. This DigCit Impact Talk was presented in partnership with the Digital Citizenship Institute and EduMatch for the 5th Annual DigCit Summit.